For the last 4 weeks, the topic of immigration has made headlines. One of President Trump's first moves back in office was signing executive orders aimed at cracking down on illegal immigration. In Florida, state lawmakers were called to a special session to discuss illegal immigration, and Governor Ron DeSantis gave Florida Highway Patrol the authority to enforce immigration laws. But what about people who are currently waiting to obtain a visa or a green card?
Riley Phillips joins us now with more on this process, and it is a lengthy one trying to come to the United States.
Yes, right now it takes about anywhere from a few months to over 20 years to go through the process of obtaining a visa or green card and becoming a U.S. citizen. But two Jacksonville-based immigration attorneys tell me there really is no, quote, right way to become a U.S. citizen, and they say it's time for lawmakers to get serious about immigration reform.
Different ways to apply for a green card. They can take anywhere from a year to 24 years.
How long have you been in Jacksonville?
10 years.
I've been here for 4 years.
Loveland Villar is from the Philippines. She's here on a J-1 visa with her family.
Say I.
Teaching at a school in Jacksonville.
I can say that I love my job, I love teaching, I love the kids. Yay! We're just having fun every day.
Me arrepiento mañana.
Caesar, who did not want to show his face out of fear for his safety, is from Mexico.
Looking for more opportunity. I was living in the north of Mexico.
He says the process of getting his visa and crossing the border into Texas was difficult.
Maybe they look easy, but for me, it's difficult. Maybe you look to me, hey, it's easy. You enjoy, not enjoy, because I don't know how to comment.
While their experiences went relatively quickly, not everyone trying to get a visa or green card has the same success.
People sit there and go, people need to do it the right way. I think people don't understand that there is no real right way.
Joanne Fackery and Rebecca Black are immigration attorneys in Jacksonville. They say they're getting more calls now than ever before.
There's a lot of people out there who've sort of delayed on getting something done if they've had a process that they could.
There are different ways to legally enter the country. Visas, which are granted through the Department of State, are broken into two categories: non-immigrant visas for things like personal travel, temporary work, or attending school, and then immigrant visas for spouses or children of U.S. citizens or sponsored employment. You can also apply for a green card, but only if you meet certain criteria. Fackery says this is where the process gets complicated.
I think people assume applying for a green card in the United States or permanent residence, it's like applying for a driver's license. You go down, you stand in line. Sometimes the line is years and years down the road.
It can take years to get a green card and then even longer to be granted citizenship. U.S. Customs and Immigration Services has been working to reduce a backlog of cases made worse during the COVID-19 pandemic. Every year, immigration law allows the U.S. to grant up to 675,000 visas with caps on specific visas. And in 2023, the U.S. granted more than 1.1 million green cards, according to the latest report from the Department of Homeland Security. That number has steadily grown since 2020. Right now, the processing time for the application to register for permanent residence, which is needed for a green card, is roughly 20 months in Jacksonville. The processing time for the petition for alien relative form, also needed for a green card, is anywhere from 16 to 65 months, depending on which office you're submitting through. That's up from the average of 22 months back in 2020. I reached out to the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services about these processing times. They referred me to their website. The attorneys believe reform is critical. Fackery says new immigration laws are needed to keep up with the way the world works now.
Maybe it's time to have immigration reform. Maybe we shouldn't use an antiquated set of rules that don't apply fully now. Because back in '96, people coming in, what was needed, what we were seeing is a lot different than now.
Although immigration continues to be a controversial issue in the United States, Loveland says she is happy here. She plans to reapply for another visa after her current program is over, and she's even considering applying for a green card in the future.
Maybe after doing the two-year home rule, we would like to come back and do the process again. Maybe when we come back, we might not do the H-1B, because I know H-1B has the path for a green card.
And according to a recent report by the Congressional Budget Office, an increase in immigration is predicted to reduce the nation's deficit by almost $1 trillion over the next decade. I reached out to Senator Rick Scott's office to see if there are any plans to discuss immigration reform on Capitol Hill. I have not heard back yet. Riley Phillips, First Coast News, on your side.